Libyan rebels, recently re-energized by heavy coalition airstrikes, were forced to retreat to the east on Tuesday following a barrage of pro-government or pro-regime tank and artillery fires. Gaddafi's forces advanced westward toward the Libyan leader's hometown of Sirte. Sirte is midway between the rebel-held east and the regime-controlled west.
Now, anti-government forces are now just 100 kilometers from the heavily mined entrance to Sirte. The city may be the last major roadblock preventing rebel forces from marching to Tripoli and ousting Muammar Gaddafi's regime. Anti-regime forces have recaptured vast amounts of territory in recent days, including the town of Bin Jawad and the key oil cities of Brega and Ras Lanuf. Now, during a nationally televised address Monday night, U.S. President Barack Obama defended his decision to use airstrikes in Libya. Mr. Obama says the international community intervened in Libya to stop a massacre and halt Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's brutal repression of his people. VOA's William Ide has more.
President Obama said Muammar Gaddafi's decision to escalate attacks against his own people in the face of international condemnation left the United States with no choice but to act.
In this particular country, Libya, at this particular moment, we were faced with the prospect of violence on a horrific scale. We had a unique ability to stop that violence, an international mandate for action, a broad coalition prepared to join us, the support of Arab countries, and a plea for help from the Libyan people themselves.
Mr. Obama said that over the past 6 weeks, it had become apparent that U.S. interests and values were at stake.
For more than 4 decades, the Libyan people have been ruled by a tyrant, Muammar Gaddafi. He has denied his people freedom, exploited their wealth, murdered opponents at home and abroad, and terrorized innocent people around the world, including Americans who were killed by Libyan agents.
Mr. Obama said that as long as Mr. Gaddafi remains in power, Libya will be dangerous. But the president said broadening the military mission to include regime change would be a mistake.
If we tried to overthrow Gaddafi by force, our coalition would splinter. We would likely have to put U.S. troops on the ground to accomplish that mission, or risk killing many civilians from the air.
President Obama spoke to a military audience at the National Defense University in Washington. His address came more than a week after a mostly Western coalition of planes and ships began enforcing a no-fly zone over Libya to protect its citizens against government forces. Mr. Obama has faced criticism from those who opposed U.S. intervention and those who accused him of waiting too long to act.
When people were being brutalized in Bosnia in the 1990s, it took the international community more than a year to intervene with air power to protect civilians. It took us 31 days.
The president did not say how long the U.S. military role in Libya might last and how much it would cost, another concern here in the U.S. But he did note that NATO would take command of the operation on Wednesday. He also said that on Tuesday, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton would meet in London with Libyan opposition members and representatives of more than 30 nations to discuss the political road ahead for Libya. William Ide, VOA News, Washington.